Okay, so you've had a chance to edit our file, and when you're done, and click on the file, load it into your browser, it should look something like this. Now I'm going to expand it a little bit so you have a chance to actually read the text that I'm displaying. You see we've got our heading 1, Bill of Rights, heading 2 for our amendments, and the text will wrap to whatever the width of our window is. Notice as I move it in, our columns get narrower and all of our text wraps. And we have our horizontal rule in between. And that holds true all the way down to Amendment 10. And I did not put anything after the 10th Amendment. I just left that as the bottom. Okay, but your page looks something like this. If it doesn't, or if you're having problems loading it, go ahead and turn this podcast off and go to work on it. Send me an email, talk to the other students, whatever you need to do to get it right. Let's get it right before we continue on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and load up Text Wrangler. And here's my code. I'm going to increase the display again. In fact, this should be so common by now that it doesn't require my mentioning it. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Because when I get down to the bottom, before I end the body, what I would like to do is I would like to give some credit to the website from which we copied our text. So let's open up a little space at the bottom before our body. Let's put in a couple of breaks. And then let's create a new paragraph. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the end tag in, come back and open it up. Okay, so now what I want to do is type in thank you to the Cornell. Now we want to make sure we get this right. So let's go out to Cornell's site, University Law School. So I'm saying thank you to the Cornell University Law School for posting this document. Now let's go ahead and save it. And I'm going to minimize those windows. And let's come back and let's click again. Here's our rights web page. And down at the bottom we have our thank you message. But we can do a little bit better than that. So let's close that window. Let's come back to our code. Let's say that what we would really like to do is to create a link back from our web page to Cornell's web page. Now the technique here is called a hyperlink, and it uses an anchor tag. So I'm going to type in a tag. I've got A, and I'll say href. That's hypertext reference. This is going to be an external link outside of my web page. And so I have to specify where this file actually resides. And I put that in quotes. I'm going to move Cornell University down a bit. So all I'm going to have on this line is my anchor tag. Now, the URL of that page gives us the path. So let's go back and here's our URL, www.law.cornell.edu. And I'm going to use a copy and paste. And I'm going to come in and just Butterfingers must have messed that up. There we go. Now notice that we have HTTP colon followed by 2 slashes. That indicates that what we need to do is we need to go out to the World Wide Web, to that big network in the sky that all these computers are connected to, and drill down from there. The next entry specifies the server. Now this is a World Wide Web server. It's at Cornell University. The .edu tells us it's a university. Cornell identifies which university. And then law would be a division within Cornell. Now, normally that law would come later, but this is a personal preference. And that's the way that they set it up. Now, after the edu, there's nothing there. So that would tell us that we're going to be accessing the Cornell University Law School's home page, their default page, which is index.htm. But we don't need to specify that. We'll just put in some quotes. Then I'm going to add target equals quote underscore blank end quote. Now what that target does is tell the browser when you open this document, open it into another window. Could be another tab or another web browser window, depending on how you've configured your browser. So let's indent that. And again, it's a tag, so I've got to put the angle bracket at the end. And then just to be consistent, I'm going to indent Cornell Law School. And then I'm going to end my anchor tag. So let's go ahead and let's save this out and see how we did. Let's minimize Text Wrangler. Double click on the rights.htm file. And then let's navigate down to the bottom. And there at the bottom is my link. Of course, I forgot to increase the size of the text, so you probably can't read it. So here we go. I'll bump it up a little bit. Now you should be able to see our sentence at the bottom. Thank you to the Cornell University Law School for posting this document. However, Cornell University Law School is not in black letters They're blue letters, and it's underlined, which tells us that this is a hyperlink. So we can go ahead and click on it. And there we go. There's Cornell University Law School. Wasn't the page that I wanted. So they must be doing something different with their firewall, something out of the ordinary, which is nothing that you would have control over. So what would you do, or what would I do, if this was a page I was going to make live, and I still wanted to put a link in to my source? Well, one of the things that I could do is simply use another source. So at this, and with the Bill of Rights, there are probably hundreds of places that I could cite as the source. So I just select one of them and reference them. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.